Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. It is Monday morning, November 8th, 2020. Excuse me for a little bit of a sore throat. I spent the last 3 days moving. I'm pretty exhausted. So we have a president. We actually have a president-elect, I should say, at this point. For the last week or so, we've been discussing the uncertainty in the market, how the market doesn't like it. Started to get towards a point where it looked like we were going to have one. Now we actually have one. But today's going to come with a caveat. Today, you have to be careful that it's not sell the news. I'm telling you now, a few hours before the market opens, it's going to be a challenge for the market to hold the gains that it made heading into the excitement of finally having a winner. I'm not going to comment on whether I like the winner or not. Again, we're non-political here. We just like the fact that there is clarity now. But we're going to review a bunch of stocks, and honestly, a few of them are going to be set up for trades that we're going to make further into the week. But I'm telling you, you have to be careful today about a higher opening in a lot of stocks that rallied really hard last week and now are at a point where the reward potential on a new swing trade doesn't make sense, but you can still get in there and actively trade it as a day trade until we get a little bit of a pause or the reward potential increases. And if you happen to be new to the channel, what I want to explain by that is, if you live in the world that we do, which is trading for cash flow and looking for trades that move over the next, let's just call it 3 to 10 days, just for argument's sake, to keep it as a general guideline. What happens is you have the optimal entry here and you have your target here, which is basically what the stock normally does, right? So what happens is if you miss the entry, so now a lot of these stocks have been up 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row at some point. So if this is the perfect trade where you have great room to go, that's the phraseology that we use in the boot camp. If this is perfect and this is where the risk reward makes sense, and this is day 1, day 2, day 3, if you are now chasing it into day 3, even day 4, you're reducing the profit potential for the amount of risk that you need to take for that trade, which quite honestly makes it not a good swing trade at that point. If the stock still has a lot of attention on it, as most of them do, that we're going to actually talk about right now, you could still actively day trade them, but building a new position to hold for the next 3 to 5 days doesn't make sense because the reward potential diminished. It keeps going higher. And that's actually one of the biggest things that we cure for newer members coming into the boot camp who have another full-time job, which maybe it's you. And you can't day trade, and you run a scanner or you run a screener and the stock is up. You're like, oh gosh, I got to get involved, but you're too late. You missed the optimal entry, and that's where a lot of smart, hardworking traders get frustrated and feel like I can't do this, or it's not for me, or what am I missing? The market keeps going up. It's timing. It's really timing entries and exits perfectly to make money. Look, I mean, the most important thing is understanding order flow and spotting ideas where the smart money is in there and making a commitment with capital over time. But you still need to enter at the right time and build that order, build that position in the right way that you actually increase the chances of you making money. So we're going to get into a few trades today. I just want to point that out. I wanted to start out today being acutely aware, right? You can see I still got boxes. Acutely aware that we might be in a sell the news mode today. You know, we had a lot of stocks that exploded last week, including the market. So we're actually going to start looking at the market. We're going to take a look at the futures. And then we're going to look at some ideas for today. So we thought we had a double top here in the market, which we did. But as we've said, this is basically a 3-month, 2.5-month trading range right now. And in order for us to have conviction any longer than day to day, we need to clear and actually get into new all-time highs. But this is what I'm a little fearful of right now, is the fact that we exploded back up higher. And now we're actually at resistance. Now, the key here is we're going to open higher again, but do we hold the bid? That's really what I want to get across here. So you can see here on the weekly chart of the SPY, this is really constructive price action. We're now for the first time in 5 weeks, we can say that it's well bid, which that's very exciting. Well bid means that the smart money held the indices, higher highs, higher lows, closed near the highs. That's great. However, because of how fast we moved over that period of time, which you can see here, now I'm a little fearful that the news is out, and I'm using fearful from a risk management perspective, that initiating a new swing trade long doesn't make sense. So I'm telling you now, before the market opens, we need to hashtag act like a pro, trade like a pro, what are the odds of follow through over the next 3 to 5 days based on the way the stocks have traded? We'll take a look at the futures here, which are also rocketing higher right now. And we're actually maintaining that level, which that's a really good sign. However, again, we have to put in perspective, what are the odds of follow through? So that being said, I'm still looking to be a buyer today. I'm only looking to initiate new swing trade longs in positions that have just recently punched through new levels or have pulled back a little bit. And right now, we're mostly going to focus on stocks that are in play. Catalyst, McDonald's has earnings scheduled for today. You can basically see here 220 is the level and 230 is the high that it needs to punch through. So what I'm looking for, if McDonald's has good earnings today, which looks like they actually reported already, between 220 and 230 is where I'm initiating the first piece of my trade. And then over 230 would be looking to build a little bit longer term position trade heading into the next quarter. Zillow actually is a poster child for what I'm talking about right now, where the upside potential on a new trade long today just really doesn't make sense. And it's actually projected to open up another $3.50 higher at this point. If you're swing trading this stock, this is now almost a $40 move in 4 days. If that's a swing trade for you, a higher opening is a spot to be booking profits today. Next, we're going to look at Square. Very similar trade where now we have 1, 2, 3 bullish gaps in a row, taking out highs, 190, up another $4 this morning, punching through 200. I still like the long. The parabolic moves, though, 3 bullish gaps, parabolic price action on Friday. Today is a day to move up trailing stops on a higher opening. ROKU actually had good numbers last week after the Comcast Walmart news actually crushed the stock a little bit and now actually rallied right back up to all-time highs. This stock, if you can afford it, should be in your list every day. It is active. It's in play a lot more recently. You can see that the difference in the candlesticks, just reading the tape. Look at the amount of melted candlesticks here, tiny candlesticks, compared to where we're starting to see a lot more larger green or red candlesticks. But again, this is another one where if you dig a little deeper into reading the tape, we had a massive volume spike on Friday, which is good, right? That's what you want to see. But it occurred after bullish gap, closing on the high. So again, I love these stocks long. I'm not initiating a new swing trade long because we missed the optimal entry. Uber. So basically what I'm saying is these are going into my watch list to look for the next pause. Uber obviously had the news last week about the independent contractor news. That was the gap here. We said, wait for it to pause. It paused on Thursday. It gave us a tremendous trade on Friday. NEO, the same exact thing. Actually, NEO now on the weekly chart has gone a little bit parabolic, where you can see we had a nice pause and then 2 solid weeks in a row. But this last week, 32 to 44, another upgrade, which was 46. I think it's a little bit overdone right now. I think we need a little bit of this before I start to get involved again. Again, this is real trading, everybody. This is where you have to set the tone for what you expect to have happen next. And what are the odds of following through if I accept risk right now? If you're okay with it pulling back, that's fine. But I'd rather be building a position the further it moves higher in pieces and letting the market give me feedback. Net is another one. Net actually punched through on double normal volume, and you can see a giant melted candle. I'm actually looking for an inside candlestick, maybe even closing on the lows today, and then looking for initiating a new trade. Snap actually is a first time punching through. So this is a little bit different. We actually had this really good punch through on earnings and we said, wait for it to pause, wait for it to pause. Well, it basically paused for 2 weeks and now it punched through. As long as it stays above 44, I like Snap there as well. That would be one I'd be trading as a swing trade today. Let me see, I'm sorry, TSM. TSM has also punched through. The breakout that we were looking for at TSM was here, 82.50. You can see we punched through and came back and now held again. So I'm really looking for the same thing. I'm looking for a 2 or 3 day pause right around 90 and then looking for a punch through to 100. JD is another one. Again, I'm cautioning everybody today that today has a very good chance to sell the news where we're going to see profit taking. So be very smart. And you can see here again, bullish gap, and strong close on the highs again. If this would have actually been inside Thursday's price action, I'd be a little bit more aggressive on it. But again, I'm day trading the stock actively today because I really feel the market's overdone a little bit in the short term. The news is out, excuse me. And then we're going to have some really unbelievably good opportunities Tuesday and Wednesday through the next 10 days. And then AMAT. AMAT is another one that punched through. You can see 68 is the level that we're watching. Now, what's exciting about AMAT here is that we've been talking a lot about stocks that have been getting through this breakout level. And then we've been saying we want to see it go well bid to confirm the breakout. So out of all of the trades that we're looking at right now, Snap and AMAT have confirmed the breakout with a push through and a close on the highs after the breakout. So I like AMAT today as well too. So the majority of the stocks that we're looking at right now are much shorter term day trading type opportunities. If you're looking to hold them, have an idea that these stocks are now extended a pretty good amount, and the reason they rallied is out already. When you factor in the election, you factor in some of the earnings, the catalyst has played itself out. There is a strategy if you're super short term where if you want to buy today and sell tomorrow, that will work, but I'm not looking to initiate a new swing trade. So again, sorry for my sore throat. I'm very excited to be back. It's nice to be on the other side of a move. I don't know if you've ever moved before or recently, but it's exhausting. So I'm happy to be back. And please, if you find these videos helpful, definitely subscribe. If you want to trade with me in real time and get my entries and exits, definitely click there and learn about the bootcamp too. Have a great day, everyone.